I invite you please to be seated, and Francesca and Russell are invited to come forward and to share with us some words about their special children.
Recently, we probably all saw the pictures and video of the meteorite streaking across the sky in Russia. It started off as a tiny speck in the heavens. Then it grew until it lit up the whole sky with a dazzling bright light, and then it was gone. The whole event only lasted a few seconds, but no one who witnessed those powerful images will ever forget the wonder and awe they inspired. Riley and Emma, to those that knew you or knew of you, no one will ever forget the impact you have had on our lives in the brief time you were with us. I've said in the past that life doesn't happen for the best. Life happens, and it's up to us to make the best out of it. We don't need to tell anyone how sad this occasion is or describe the loss we all feel in our hearts. Instead, we want to tell you about the joy we felt from Emma and Riley's presence on this earth.
Riley and Emma, from the moment your father and I met and both talked about how we wanted children, you were with us. From the moment I surprised Russ with the news that I was pregnant, our hearts were filled with joy. And from the moment the doctor surprised both of us with the news that we were having twins, the joy was doubled. All throughout my pregnancy, Russ and I talked continuously to our babies. It would usually be at night before we went to sleep. We would tell them all about the things we hoped for them in life. Most importantly, that we would always love them, and we would try to raise them to be good people with kind hearts. Riley lived for 8 hours. He was born just before 9 a.m., about the time most of us start work, and by the time most of us leave work, Riley had passed. We will always be grateful for those 8 hours of life with our son, and we are grateful that Riley had his family there, surrounding him with love as we said our final goodbyes. We call Riley Richard Corey, our perfect little boy, and he was. He did nothing wrong, he never hurt a soul, and he always made his mother and father very proud.
We call Emma Marie Corey our brave little fighter. I have to admit, in the hours after we lost Riley, I thought more bad news was surely soon to follow with Emma, and as I tried to mentally prepare myself for another crushing blow, something else happened instead. Our daughter, our brave little fighter, lived that first day, and then she lived that first week, and then she lived that first month. I soon learned that I was not the one in charge, that she was, and I never doubted my daughter again. We inscribed on Emma's urn that she brought us time, hope, and joy, and boy did she ever for 41 magnificent days. We really thought Emma was going to make it, so much so that I bought a 2013 page-a-day calendar, and every day I would take a picture of Emma with it. My dream was that on December 31st, 2013, our precious little one-year-old Emma might even be able to hold the calendar herself as I took the last picture of the year. We lost Emma on January 17th, and I thought the calendar would remain on that sad day forever. But on January 18th, I heard a little voice in the back of my head say, "Daddy, we haven't taken our picture today." It was then that I promised Emma and Riley that I would continue to take a picture with their calendar every day for the rest of the year, just as we had planned. Taking that daily picture reminds me that each day truly is a gift from God and not to be taken for granted.
I feel truly blessed that I was able to see Emma's eyes open for the first time. Russ and I were so excited as we took video of our beautiful little girl peeking out and taking in our strange new world. As tiny as she was strong. You could feel her strength in her legs as she pushed against your hands with her feet. You could feel that strength in her grip as she would hold the tip of your finger and squeeze. And here are another few facts about Miss Emma. She hated a wet diaper, and she would let you know it. Because her skin was so sensitive, she didn't like being rubbed. However, it did comfort her to have her head gently stroked. And lastly, she loved to hear her daddy's voice as he told her how special she was and how much we loved her.
We want to thank all the doctors, nurses, and staff at the St. Joseph Medical Center NICU. Fran and I know you did everything you could to not only save Riley and Emma's lives, but that you did everything you could to comfort them and their family in our time of need as well.
For 6 weeks, you became my NICU family and gave me strength and comfort as I sat by my precious little girl. The day before Emma passed, I had mentioned to the nurses that I was very sad because the first time I would hold my baby would be the day she died. Immediately, the nurses went to work to put a plan together to let me hold Emma before that. And within minutes, Emma was in my arms for the first time. Having her on my chest, skin to skin, is a moment I will cherish forever. To you, angels of the NICU, we thank you for all the photos you took of our children, for the gifts and keepsakes you made, for the books you gave us to cope with our loss. We thank you for your compassion, which will never be forgotten.
We want to thank all our friends, our co-workers at Disney and Universal, and our family for reaching out with your support, your flowers, your cards and prayers. Your generosity and kindness helped us get through this most difficult time.
To my parents, you opened up your home to us and took us in those first few weeks and took such good care of us. And thank you to my grandmother, who at 93 also helped cook and clean for us at my parents' house to help ease our pain. To my sister, who when I found out I had gotten into labor early, jumped on a plane from Oregon that morning and was with me for support that afternoon. I can't thank you enough for being there when I was so scared. I am so glad you got to meet both of your godchildren. To my husband, during this difficult time, you were my rock. The love and support you gave me is immeasurable. I have told many people that I chose well when I married you. Watching you talk to Emma every day confirmed that you are an amazing father. And both Emma and Riley were lucky to have you as their dad, and I am lucky to have you as my husband. To Emma and Riley, thank you for letting me experience a mother's love. My heart will always be full because I know you are always with me. There were so many people that reached out to lend a hand, from calling to check up on me daily, to taking care of everything at work for me, to donating blood for our daughter. Thank you all for your kindness and love.
To my brothers, Joe and Matt, thank you to you and your families for supporting Fran and myself. And thank you to Matt for being Riley and Emma's godfather and flying out to be with us today. To my parents, thank you for supporting me every day as we went through this. And thank you for giving me my life. My parents just recently attended a funeral for my Uncle Bill in Boston. And during my uncle's service, Riley and Emma were both remembered aloud in the prayers offered. And today, I pray for you, Uncle Bill, and for all of Francesca and my relatives that have passed before us. Please take good care of our little babies in heaven. To my wife, I thank you for being an amazing mother. You inspired me with your dedication to our children. I was there, and I witnessed firsthand how hard you fought for those children and the pain that you endured. I saw how much comfort you brought to Emma, whether it was changing her diaper, holding her hands or feet, or stroking her head so softly. I'm so fortunate to be your husband, and Riley and Emma were blessed to have you as a mother.
And thank you to God for blessing us with two beautiful angels. Riley and Emma, your daddy and I love being your parents and wish so much you were still with us. But your place is in heaven now, and when the time is right, we will join you again and be together as a family once more. Until that time, we promise to live a good life for you. We know falling apart and becoming self-destructive will not show how much we love you. We know in your hearts you don't want us to be sad. And while I can't promise we won't shed tears for you, I do promise that we will always remember you with smiles and warmth in our hearts.
On behalf of Riley and Emma, we want to thank you for coming today and sharing this celebration of life with us. God bless you all.